Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting edition of Creative Minds. I'm Brian here, as your host today. Here again, talking about cryptocurrency, the stock market, current events, what's going on in the country and the world. How are you guys doing today? You guys have a good week?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Yeah, man. It's Emilio, man. Yeah, doing good, man. Another week down.
That's good. That's good. Gerard, how you doing today?
Yeah, it's been a really good week. Thanks, Brian. Happy to be here. Another week to talk about ways of doing or getting any sort of passive income, and also just to talk about the current. So happy.
Yeah, it's been a long week. I see the face of the news has totally changed. For the past 2 years, I would say we've been getting nothing but COVID, Omicron. Wear your mask. Stay healthy. Wash your hands. Now we're talking war, conflict going on with Russia and Ukraine. All the entire news headlines have changed. You see everything going on with Biden. The sanctions are out right now. It's affecting both markets. Even the European market, Russian market, China's market. All of them are kind of down. What do you guys think about that? Amelia, I'll start with you, sir.
Oh man, I think it's pretty crazy, man. What we're going through. I remember being a young kid, going through the wars of Afghanistan and Iraq, really not understanding the full effect of what was really going on in the world. But now that I'm a little bit older and more mature, understanding what's going on with Ukraine and Russia and how it really affects us, it takes a different mindset and a toll to us as a citizen of the United States, as you know what I mean, being part of the United States. It's something that I never really felt before, and now I feel it. You know what I mean, as an adult. Something that my kids are kind of watching. When I kind of put on the news a little bit with my kids, and I'll kind of explain to them what a little bit of like what's going on, just so that when they get older, they kind of get a grasp of it. But it's crazy, man, what's going on, and with the crypto and the markets going down and up, with the market going down and crypto going up at the same time. This is something that the crypto world is kind of learning from right now, where it's war, because the market has gone through it, but this is the first time that crypto is going through it with a war. So now we're gonna see the outcomes of it. Who's gonna be alive? Who's gonna be down? What coins are gonna be up? So it's a learning curve for everybody right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Emil, I'm glad you said this is kind of one of the a kind of mirroring things that have happened. So I remember back during the when 9/11 happened, and then we went to a war with Afghanistan right after that. Everybody got to kind of see exactly how the stock market was affected by something serious by that event, and then us going into war, the market dropped, had a significant drop and pulled back like it does now. Same thing. We kind of going through a big event with like the healthcare crisis, and then a big crisis going on or conflict going on in another country. So but now we, like you said, we're getting to test a brand new market to see if it's going to last, and I believe it will. It's just a lot
Yes.
of new things and playing into these two markets. Gerard, what do you think about what's going on?
From my perspective, I see this as part of the world of fighting. So this idea about I believe there are so many causes and so many reasons we are not really seeing from a superficial. So this actually goes back way back. So there's a lot economically, politically, between either Russia, China, the US, or the West. So this war is something that I wouldn't say was bound to, but there are things that actually this war. A lot of people might fight from mineral resources to to power to just having a strategy, local forces either in the middle. So there are a lot of reasons, but we are talk also about cryptocurrency. This potential war could actually affect. Now, the cryptocurrency is more digital. So, you know, transactions that are being done. So it's interesting to see how this how when this will arrive at time. But I am pretty confident the blockchain, cryptocurrency, and all the platforms. I think they are going to. unless that happens with BW, the worldwide that affected the cryptocurrency. And
Yeah, and it's interesting to see like the normal both pretty much every government's gonna follow the same playbook. First off, hit the sanctions on them. If anybody's in conflict, hit the sanctions, stop their trade, stop their ability to transfer money, to pay for their fund their conflict. But now that we have cryptocurrency, President Biden, he can turn off the banks, he can turn on the sanctions, but you cannot turn off cryptocurrency people. Interacting with things on the blockchain on their own. Even if you cut out their internet, it's not gonna affect them as far as because most countries are just gonna block the domain website, so they are not able to access like a currency exchange. But that's not gonna stop if you've already had currency sitting there in your MetaMask or your Trust wallet. Uh, so it's interesting. It's brand new. This is a brand new development. I'm sure that our government officials they're realizing, hey, how is Putin still funding himself? We've cut off his money supply, uh, but somehow he's still marching his troops along. Getting stuff paid for. Uh, what do you guys think? What he's doing with cryptocurrency? You think he's got some held in his bag somewhere? Emilio?
I think so. I mean, uh, not to say it in those words, but it wouldn't be smart not to be part of something that could be a backup. Just in case anything goes wrong, especially like you said, with the sanctions going on. And we had a conversation where we talk about playbooks and you talk about uh, if we talk about uh, dictatorship, there's a book for this. There's a formula to how this goes. You know what I mean? We're talking about back in the Fidel Castro days. The Chinese, the North Korea. So this has been happening. You know what I mean? So history always repeats itself some way or another. You know what I mean? So people learn from it. So the people that really study that is the people that are really kind of gonna get ahead. Throughout times. You know what I mean? Because they will last through because they understand how this really works. So for Russia and for Putin, like he understands, and we're talking about like in this notebook, whatever it is that he understands because he's been a dictator for such a long time. He understands what's going on in the world, how people are, United goes over here and manipulate certain things. He understands what to do when it's time to action, when he's really in a corner or whatever, he's gonna try to succeed in whatever it is that he's trying to do. You know what I mean? Not saying that he is, but the thing is with the money that he's backed up and something that I was reading or listening to also is how much he has a piggy bank prior to this happened where he had like over 600 $1 million or trillion no $1 million $600 million kind of put away. So when you look about it, like how you said, when sanctions, when it was wartime, sanctions happened. So he already had his piggy bank. So he was already prepared for this. You know what I mean? But here's the thing, and this is what makes everything much more crazier, and which is what we're into, is the crypto. So he was prepared. Now we're talking about cryptocurrency. We look at how can he fund the war when all the banks are shutting down? Where's the money going to come from? Who's going to come up and help out, to help the cause? There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Right. And I'm just reading an article like the CEO of Kraken. They were basically saying, "How about we just freeze all of Russia's accounts?" You can't do that. That's impossible. Like, if I am a regular, we're regular day to day Joe, average Joes. If we can figure out a MetaMask and I just can have my crypto in there and nobody can mess with it except for me, I'm not. I mean, it would be crazy for Putin to have his stuff just sitting on the exchange. That yeah, he'd probably get rid of it at that point, but no, he's gonna have it in his personal wallet, like where it's supposed to be, because I know he's probably his own bank. you
Right.
know, so Gerard, what do you think about this? About him hiding his money somewhere, or under the blanket?
yeah, I think it wouldn't be prudent for somebody like Putin not to have. I think it's something that's what you had a very somebody like him. He has, so it would be strange for somebody to tell me that he doesn't have piggyback or backup for whatever thing that you can think of, from currencies to even access to resources that we don't know about. So, of course, I would say, just from my little knowledge, that I'm pretty sure that he has thought about all of this, before what just that he is going to be able to do to be able to sustain what he is himself, his team into. But everything always goes back to the average, our core audience, the people that the people that we are trying to relate our topic of what might be doing is equally something that either Mark or anybody or Joe that in the neighborhood can equally do at his or her level. Just by getting a few currency, a few coins in any of the exchanges really wouldn't hurt. But you just have to be able to really know exactly which coins, which exchange, you want to sign up for. So it's just a lesson learned from what is happening that I think that can uh, be, be transitioned to our community or just anybody who wants to be able to dive cryptocurrency. Right? You always want to be able to have little that leverage, right? So that you can use when they're ready.
Hmm. That's crazy. Thank you for that, Dry. So you guys, we're going to take a quick break, real quick. We're going to come back. We're going to still talk about sanctions and then some of the ways you can kind of get around sanctions, especially with cryptocurrency. So we're going to be right back. See you guys soon. Okay, guys, welcome back. We're still talking about the subject of sanctions and what's going on in the stock market, cryptocurrency market. Currently, I was kind of talking about the different sanctions of what's going on in Russia. So again, we have the blockchain, how you being able to be anonymous on it. If I was Biden, I'm just going to tell you, speaking of me, if I was a criminal or something like that, how I would hide my cryptocurrency or purchase cryptocurrency, I would simply just get a VPN. And a VPN is a virtual private network. Just an example right now. So everybody has like Disney Plus or Netflix. Currently, right now in the U.S., we're able to see our current shows that are placed on Disney Plus, for example. If you turn on a VPN with Disney Plus on, you're going to be able to see R-rated content on Disney Plus. Watch whatever different content, and besides what you get here in the United States, you're going to get the friendly, kind Disney shows that we all know. But if you just simply turn on a VPN, you can see different shows. That's the same thing that will happen if you turn on your VPN for like trying to access a different site that might be banned in your country. The same thing will happen. So that's how you can obtain, access to it, to an exchange. And a VPN is definitely all it's going to do is just change your location and mask your identity to say like, hey, you're sitting here in the U.S., not in Ukraine, and then you can simply purchase cryptocurrency. Not. It's not a problem with anybody. And there's plenty of VPNs out there. Surfshark, it's one of my favorites. Just simple ways to get around it. Miller, what do you think about the different ways you
Well,
can
I mean,
get around?
yeah. Well, just going based on what you're saying with the VPN is very important too. When we talk about like an IP address, An IP address basically is the same thing as what you put on your browser is a www dot, let's say you put www.youtube.com, and if you talk about an IP address, what that translates to is a number. So it's directing that number is directing it straight to making sure it's going to YouTube. So just something that Gerard was talking about, and like with the who can control the internet is like people who are at the top levels of this. You know what I mean? And I think we had a conversation with the you said who was it? Gerard that controls the internet.
I think
I
it's
see.
ICNN. I can. I think.
Yeah, right. I see. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. So they're the ones who are actually making sure that the traffic is going to the correct IP address and stuff like that. So I mean, we could kind of get deep into that, but when it comes to VPN, anybody can do it, even on your phone. If you want to get it for free, if you want to pay for it, but it's just about knowing which ones to really get. And if you don't want to get it, if you want to do it, I mean, but with the sanctions and stuff like that, if we want to get into like the sanctions of Russia, and something that came up to mind, honestly, and this is how I like to relate it to people that to understand is if we're talking about how can Putin do it with his money and all this, you got to think about it in terms of 50 cent. I remember it came out so viral when 50 Cent said, "I'm broke, I don't have money," because I guess he was going through a lawsuit or whatever the case might be. But he knew he had money. He kept taking pictures with like $1 million or whatever he was taking pictures of. But this is the guy that's been street smarts and understands the book smart mentality. Also, people that what I mean. When you speak to people on a higher level, just how we're trying to accomplish. Also, what I mean, like trying to pick brains and talk to people who's way higher than us to understand what they really do with their money. He understood that part from the jump, which is what made him a great businessman. So he said, "I'm broke," but knowing that his money was put away in different accounts that people couldn't really see, or the court couldn't even get into. You get what I'm saying? So that's the way I put it. It's the 50 cent method. That's the easiest method you got to think about. You just go ahead and look at the 50 cent. He said, "I have no money." Boom. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, what did he come out with? He came out with a bang. And he came out with his TV show. Now he has 3 TV shows. But this is something we learn. We got to learn from. Like if I love hip hop and I really love it a lot to the core, and you have people like that I admire, or I have like a person like Patrick McDavid that has his own podcast also, that I've been following him since before he became what he is now, and I got to see him live many times over and over again. I got to speak to the guy before. I've got to speak to Maxwell. I've got to speak to different people in my lifetime that are way high and doing this at a high level when I was just somebody's just I'm still small, but somebody that I had no idea what I was really wanting to get into. Now everything's kind of making sense. You know what I mean? So with the sanctions, what Putin's doing is something that he understands. Just the same thing I keep saying. Is that he's playing it by the book and he knows what he's doing. I mean that's basically it.
Yeah, and I'm sure Putin has geniuses that follow him around all the time. Body of followers who are not going to be like, Putin's not going to walk up to crypto.com and say, "Hey, my account is banned. That's it." What I'm going to do, I'm going to send my coins to somebody I trust. "Hey, cash this out for me," and then bring me back the money. That's it's simply that easy. And if they ban that particular blockchain address from connecting to crypto.com, you can simply create another one. Like, I'm not going to have my entire portfolio sitting on one of the crypto exchanges.
Or he created his own.
Yeah, or just create his own. It's as simple as that. There's so many ways to get around it. Drew, what do you think about it? I know you want to add in. So.
The way that I look at this is that I always want to relate the situation or the historical event to some sort of lesson learned why we are even doing this, right? I mean, the aspect of people being able to identify certain things within the events and learn from it. As an average Joe, these sanctions that are going can equally all anybody tomorrow. When you are investing, you just have to be careful. We have discussed about ways of watching or being cautious of which are to buy, right? Coins that have a contract, right? You want to make sure you do your, because once the regulation comes in place, these sanctions are going to be very normal. So when you're buying, you know, those are things that can come. You want to figure out how you can protect your investment. So if you're buying some crows, or you're buying, Bitcoin, or you're buying anything, you want to be careful from which platform that you're buying it from. But the good thing is that with cryptocurrency, the anonymity is just something that just makes it unique, right? You can still utilize the VPN, like you said, Brian, right? Anybody can be anywhere and buy currency from anywhere.
Hmm.
Because right now we don't know how much currency is being trafficked into Russia.
Hmm.
Right now, we have no idea how much true currency is in China. We do not know, right? Because again, of course, there are numbers out there of the countries that are highest when it comes to the ownership of Bitcoin. But I always take that information with a grain of salt, because there is nothing that is factual that we would really see. Nobody, there are many people that will not really want to reveal their wealth for so many reasons, right? So I just always want to take it with a grain of salt, and I encourage anybody to, do their research. Just make sure that anything that is happening to Russia right now can happen tomorrow with any platform that you are investing, whether it's a stock market or cryptocurrency. It can happen. It's very, very relatable. So one just has to be able to pick your battles carefully.
Absolutely. And you guys, we not just want to talk about cryptocurrency for this entire segment, but it is a very important market. But you also got to think about the stock market too. If you're trying to chase those lows right now, especially in the midst of this conflict going on, it's almost like trying to catch a falling knife. So still be careful with your investments. Still
Yep.
do your own research, especially if you're trying to, get into these different types of stocks that are doing well right now, or you see that, oh, they're slightly on the discount. I know everybody's like, one thing right now is going on and affecting everybody right now is gasoline.
Yeah.
Gasoline has went up so high as of late. Here we're sitting at about what, just over $4 here in Arizona. Miller, what, you're at $20 a gallon now?
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, man, man, we're over five, man, for sure. Yeah, well, I mean, it's
You
it's
know,
it's breaking pockets, man.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
Yeah, it's breaking pockets, man.
yeah.
I think people are gonna have to start riding their bikes, right? Uh, Countries like the Netherlands,
China method,
was that, Emilia?
the China method, on the bikes.
Even Holland too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Amsterdam. Amsterdam is the capital, world capital of bike riders. So it's almost like it's a ratio of 1 to 1 almost, right? So I don't think they are going to really hurt too much when it comes to the price of gasoline. But again, any other place that people are driving, this is really, really being felt. And Europe, they get quite a bunch of their gas from Russia, right? So there's a lot of concerns as to how long they are going to be able to, get the gas, to come through. So we are going to start seeing other issues, other, side effects, unforeseen circumstances come up. But again, people just have to brace themselves for stuff like this, and just try to have a backup, right? If you can't drive, what are you going to do? Maybe you should start looking for the option of working from home. If you can't work from home, what are you going to do? Probably should start negotiating and try to see with your employer if you can maybe have a free bus pass, or they can give you a stipend, or whatever that works out, right? So just part of the whole situation.
Yep. A lot of people, I hear it all the time. People are trying to invest into these fuel stocks like Exxon and Chevron. I'm starting to look at like, hey, maybe I need an electric vehicle at this point, because it's $4 it makes me want to throw up. I have to pump pump gas into my truck twice at this point, because it stops you once it gets to 100, so it makes you do it again. So
Wow.
it's starting to seek like alternatives. Of course, get a good passive income going, because this isn't going away. there's no incentive for like Exxon or anybody to lower the gas price. This,
No.
you know, even Biden's state of address, he talked about, hey, we're going to hedge inflation, we're going to try to beat it. Um, That's I can wonder because I've watched a lot of state of address and nothing has went down, even from previous presidents. Those are just kind of promises, and we just kind of just roll with the punches after a while. It's regular average Joe people, so
Yeah.
uh, it's a hard situation to be kind of put in. That's that inflation that's permanently around.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this.
Gotta make more money.
Yep. So you guys, so we do have a question from the our audience members. Uh, Amelia, are you able to see his question down there?
Yeah, I got you.
So,
Can cryptocurrency transactions be halted or banned? Uh, well, y'all want to go at it, or you want me to start it off?
you go ahead, Amelia. Yep, we'll just
Um,
piggyback on.
I mean, the same thing we were talking about. I mean, with crypto, and then something that was very interesting that you brought up too right now is the point of, you know, in the world, right? It could be like we're talking about China. Actually, we had a conversation about China, how they banned it. They banned Bitcoin,
Mm.
but still people were able to, you know, get their trade on and going on and so forth. Now they use the VPN, so that's something else we talked about with Gerard. That's something else that we're talking about where what was that thing that you were talking about where China is like top 5, top 6 in the cryptocurrency world. So even if they banned it, it's almost like putting a band-aid on something that you need stitches on. It's not gonna work. You know what I mean? It's still that blood is still gonna overflow. So I mean, can it be halted? I mean, if we really talk about like the IC, the ICANN, if they were to stop the internet, that'd be probably one way to stop it, but that'd just be something short term. You know what I mean? If it is something that they just stopped it, like we talked about, we have covered, the studio wallet. You know what I mean? If you have it on you, and then you have no worries because you have it on you. Anytime that the internet comes back on and they're to shut it down, you just you pick up right where you left off. So, can it be halted? Yes, it can, but it could be just be something. Can it be banned? Yes, it can. You can still see ways through it. You have stop sanctions with different many things with the bank sanctions with UPI things out there. So it's still working. You know what I mean? When it comes to the cryptocurrency, they're playing with the money out with the crypto out there still. You know what I mean? And you look at Ukraine and how they just put up their Bitcoin address and said, hey, whoever wants to donate, and I believe they went up to like over $30 million. It's something that there's so many possibilities with that,
Yeah,
happening.
and I agree with you. Like when China did their ban on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, all they did was just do a temporary band-aid. It's not like they actually took serious measures saying, hey, you cannot purchase it. Uh, all they did was just ban the websites. That's like somebody says turn off the internet. Then that's not a situation that's going to happen. No country is going to turn off the internet. The internet is as vital as having water being pumped in your country right at this point. If the internet goes down, I'm expecting flames to be coming down from the sky because it's literally breathing. So it's really not. It's more of a like, hey, we need to kind of slow this train down because it's going to disrupt our the way our flow of money. That still China's doing the same thing with their money. They don't want a new currency coming in and devaluing the currency that they have running the country. Same thing with the United States. They don't want to lose that power that they have. Draw. I'm sorry, I didn't want to go too long. What you got for it?
Yeah. I would agree that it would be very, very difficult for a country to completely ban um, a cryptocurrency, and it's just simply because all transactions which are on the blockchain, they go through the World Wide Web, right? So if a country really wants to ban it, then they are probably going to have to shut down the internet within the country, and that's really going to be something tough to do. They can monitor it, they can probably slow it down, but I don't think it's really going to be able to take it out of existence because people are still going to be able to utilize the VPNs, which you mentioned. They are going to be able to trade, maybe not within the country, but they will be able to buy currencies on exchanges that are in different countries. So, and even as we are talking about the Great China Firewall, right? People are still within China or within US that consume content in both countries, right? They still go through the firewall. Of course, it's monitored. It doesn't mean that there's still no, transactions that can, happen. So I think it will be really far-fetched for a country to kind of think that they are going to be able to completely to halt or to ban. They might slow the progress down by having, conspiracy theories, right? Like, okay, it's not good for you, it's for thieves, right? It's for criminals, it's for whatever reason, or you are evading taxes or whatever. And there are so many measures that a government can put in place to probably, slow the whole process down by imposing taxes and all of that. But you have to be able to track, you have to be able to know who is involved to be able to actually levy a tax or a fee, right? So, yeah, anonymity is really a secret weapon, right? That really is going to make cryptocurrency to go really far. So I think it's something that might not be able to happen anytime soon. Well, until it happens.
Yeah. I could just imagine them like no country would want to miss this innovative technology by simply banning it. If you don't allow your smartest minds to be able to work with cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
because it could evolve beyond just finances. It could evolve to making the internet faster.
Mm-hmm.
This is just the first step right here, what we're seeing right now. So
Mm-hmm.
like I said, it's always Internet 2.0 at this point, and it's just talking finances. It could evolve to something better. You don't want to be on the back end while other countries are developing this, and then you
Absolutely.
missing out just because you got a ban on.
Yeah.
Yeah, very exciting topic. I definitely enjoyed this topic with y'all tonight. Final words going out. Gerard, you go. You can go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Brian. Just want to say thank you to you for checking us out. Thank you for the support. Please, if you haven't seen the other videos, do check them out. They are way much fun than any other video that we're going to be doing. So just catch up with us. Let us know what you think. Click the notification, bell, subscribe, share, comment. Let us know what you're thinking. And thanks again. And we look forward to catching you again next week.
Thanks much, Gerard. Billy, what you got for the
Yeah.
crowd?
Yeah, no, thank you, man. Same thing. We just, I really want to say I appreciate every single body, everybody who has subscribed to our channel, and all the future subscribers that's gonna, watch it one time and just kind of subscribe just based on what we're talking about right now. And we are looking for the next millionaire who's gonna come along the journey with us, and because we are gonna become who we're, crypto millionaires. You know what I mean? So I have no doubt in my mind, honestly. So if it's somebody who started with us and you are implementing certain things that, not saying that you're going to have to implement everything that we talk about, but as long as you start and get the ball rolling, you will get far ahead than a lot of people. Just thank you guys. Thank you for all the comments, for anything, you know what I mean? Just, and our hearts go out to all the people in Ukraine and anywhere around the world who are suffering through war, you know what I mean? And suffering of, aftermath of war too. You know what I mean? Because you never know. I mean, the world is vast, and you know what I mean. But thank you to everybody. Just hit the like, subscribe, share this, and if you see me in the street, just say hi. What's up? And excuse our messaverse. And if you're going through anything, remember, man. You know, for any setback, there's a great comeback, and I highly believe in that. You know what I mean? Just look at 50 Cent.
Absolutely, guys. Thank y'all for all joining us.
Yeah.
And again, if somebody wants to come on the show, feel free to just reach out to us. It doesn't have to be us three up here talking all the time. We love to exchange ideas, meet new people. You guys hop in live on the chat with us. It's very easy to get you guys in. We want to make more friends. Encourage people to become investors. Make the change in your life. So, again, it's
Yeah,
another episode of Creative Minds. Thank you guys for joining us. Like, comment, subscribe, and then come join us. So this is another
yeah,
episode of Creative Minds. We'll see you guys later. Y'all take it easy.
yeah. Peace.
Ciao.